Hello everybody. So today I'm going to be installing a door trim. So it's a pretty messy house. It's for, again, like the last videos, for a buddy of mine. They were asking me to just do some work for them, and I don't mind helping out where I can. So right now I'm just pulling off the old trim. It was like this crappy foam, and it definitely was not going to hold up for the outside elements. So I'm just pulling it off. It wasn't too difficult. Got my needle nose. I brought, I want to say, a box cutter, the tin snips, a pry bar, and then I don't know if you know what it is. I don't know the name of it, but it's a hammer that you use for the wooden floors to try to hammer them together without doing damage to the wooden floor. So it's got two different sides, like a rubber side and a plastic side. I brought one of those too in case I need to hammer it down. One of the main problems I do remember encountering with this job is I couldn't get a good angle on a lot of the spots, right? So I'm sure if I took the door off and then put it back in, I'd be able to get a better angle and hammer it in. But because I'm just doing this for free, I'm just helping out. I'm trying to do it with as minimal work as possible, with as good of a job as I can do, right? So I just go over there, stick my thumb, measure out exactly where it needs to be and cut it. I get the pry bar and kind of push it into the crack. And with the pry bar, I'm able to apply force where I want it to be on that little end side, so I can move it up and down and kind of slide it in better. One thing I noticed is that it wasn't fitting perfectly, and it's supposed to slide in there better. So as I'm trying to figure this out, I'm like, okay, because I haven't done this before, but looked up a few YouTube videos and it wasn't too difficult. So I bought these that they recommended. You just slide them in, they just pop in and hold themselves in place for the most part. And again, the door is going to be closed most of the time, so it'll kind of press it in the longer it's in, if that makes sense. And these are more of a rubber than they are a foam or something that will deteriorate over time, so these will hold a lot better. But the bottom one was really easy. It's the top and the sides that really gave me a lot of problems. I was over here having a struggle trying to fix those. You'll see in the video. So now I'm going to be working on the top. It's got that crappy foam too. Not the same one as the bottom, but a different type. So I'm just going to pull it off. This one came off pretty easily. And it didn't fit into that crevice or anything, but I don't know if you can see it. My camera work is terrible. When I'm trying to look up and look to the side, the crappy phone stand I had that I attached to my head just wiggles all over the place, and it just does not stay still. So I apologize for the terrible camera angles, but I assure you what you're seeing is the best angles I was able to get, and it's on my head too, so I can't see what it's showing. So yeah, but yeah, so as you see, it's got the little crevice, it slides in. So instead of using the pry bar, I couldn't really reach up and get a good enough hold on it. So I had to get a chair in order to give me enough elevation to push into it. And the elevation helped out a lot, and it worked fine. But I was having a struggle trying to push it into that little crevice. It wasn't, it just needed more force to be pushed in, right? And I want it to hold in place. I don't want to come back here and have to fix something I've already worked on. And that is one thing I hate the most, right? And I prefer that they call back. If they have issues and they're like, hey, so it's actually falling off, I prefer they call me, but I don't want to mess it up, right? Which is why I'm doing these videos, so people can see the struggles I went through to figure out if their door or some other issue that they're having, if it's fixable with a easy DIY and simple tools, because that's all I'm doing. Basic tools, basic problems, basic fixes. Man, that's a new line. I like that. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm just trying to get a better angle to put more leverage on it. And with the pry bar, I was able to kind of focus the pressure on one spot. So if I just rotate the pry bar so one of the corners is pushed up against the middle, it'll help to push it in with more force. So that's what I was doing. I apologize. That's what I was doing. I was just pushing that in more and more. Sorry about that. I had a hiccup. So now I'm working on the sides, got it measured out. It reaches the bottom, so I'm going to secure the top and work my way down. I assume the bottom would be the easiest part, so I kind of saved that for last, right? So You can't see it in the video, right? A lot of it's edited out, but this took significantly longer than I expected it to. I don't know, I just thought I'd be able to pop it in and it wouldn't be too difficult, right? But no, it was way more difficult. But again, I'm sure there's proper tools that you can use to kind of slide it in, and it helps out a lot. But with what I got and what I was trying to use, I don't want to buy new tools for something I'm only going to do once, right? But yeah, I'm looking at it. I see the little crevice that's sliding in. Now, one of the problems I had with the bottom of this side part of the door was the crevice was just too small. So it wasn't completely even. You know, wood over time, it doesn't necessarily warp, but if it's got water, it'll start to enlarge and freeze, and it's going to deform it, right? So maybe it was bigger at a certain point, but then it started shrinking, but it started to look pretty good. So I was making progress, and that's what I wanted. But like I said, near the bottom, I was just really struggling to slide it in. So I got a box cutter and kind of cut the opening slightly larger, just that way it'd give me more leverage in order to slide it in. And that significantly helped out a lot. So I'm not sure if this is right, but it did help me. I would recommend it if it's not big enough for you. Just do a slight little cut on the opening part and slide it in. Now that will kind of ruin the grip strength of the inside grippers of the trim, or the seal, sorry. But it wasn't enough to make a big difference, so. Then if anything, if you ever want to, just toss some silicone in there to hold itself in place. Dynaflex 230 is definitely my favorite, and that's what I would recommend. But yeah, you see how I'm using the corner there to kind of leverage that small piece of pressure that I want to put in. So you have to go and do that all the way down, but it works fine. It slides itself in. And there we go. I hope y'all like it.